Hi everyone and welcome to another card tutorial, and today's card tutorial is my monthly feature for Create a Smile stamps. So the stamps I'm using today is by Create a Smile. I'm using Superpowers, which is the mouse and the sentiment, and Glowing Seaside, which is the little lighthouse. They're super adorable. When I saw that mouse, I knew I wanted him to fly over something, and then I remembered I had the lighthouse, and this whole card came together. This is a interactive slider card because we want the little mouse to fly. I want to also say I'm a little bit sorry about the sound. I usually use a very crisp condensator mic, but I'm on vacation because it's midsummer weekend here in Sweden, which we do celebrate. So I am away from home and I don't have all the nice and nifty gear. I was supposed to have edited this way before we left, but all my clips had disappeared because I was cleaning out my hard drives and kind of forgot that I hadn't used this. So I had to redo it, but that's okay. So I'm coloring all the images with Copics, and if you want all the details and nitty-gritty, I have a real-time coloring video, which you can find a link in the description up in the right corner and at the end of the video. But what I'm doing is using the colors that kind of go very, very well together, basically using the same color scheme on both of the items so that they are matching and kind of work together. I kind of like it. And it's all neutral and everything, like everything I do at the moment. I like neutral colors. I do like bright colors also, but this goes in kind of periods. I have very bright color periods and then I go back to neutral for a while and then go to bright colors and I go back to neutral. I am cutting them out with a cutter bee scissor, and now we're going to do the background. This is Canson MONTVAL. I think it's cold press, and I'm using the less grainy side. I think if you use hot press you can get a very smooth watercolor cardstock, but I haven't looked into that. I'm doing some blending to kind of just add color to this little mini scene. So I'm starting off with some Mermaid Lagoon. All the inks are Distress Inks by Tim Holtz. Then I want to do a little bit of a stony kind of hillside towards the water. I was already like on vacation in my mind when I saw this, and we are on the west coast in Sweden, which is full with just big rocks and water. So I thought that was very suitable. That is also kind of lighthouses everywhere here. So I'm using pumice stone to kind of give that outline of it. I'm then going in with some hickory smoke to add a little bit of depth in the corner, just to kind of frame it a little bit. Going back in with some more of the pumice stone to kind of punch it in a little bit. Then I'm going in with some stormy sky to tone down the sky a little bit, being that the mouse and the lighthouse is a little bit more at the neutral side. I wanted to keep that neutral. Still, I wanted the watery part of everything to pop just a little bit, so instead of going in with the smoky or the stormy sky at the bottom, I'm going in with some more Mermaid Lagoon. Then I kind of realized that I really need a little kind of mountain hill thingy at the end because it wasn't enough with just the pop of color. So I'm going in freehanding a little thing in the corner with my Copics. If you want to use your Copics with Distress inks, do so. You're not supposed to use Copics on top of other materials because you can ruin the nibs, and I kind of just didn't care because I just wanted this little mountain to be there. Also, watercolor cardstock and Copics don't really go together that well. It's much harder to blend, and also it sucks the ink out of your pen. But I did get kind of some detail in there to kind of give that kind of watercolory look. Then I'm kind of playing around with a little bit of placement with the lighthouse and the mouse that I want to fly over. I'm imagining that I have the kind of foam piece that I'm going to use as the slider part in the middle of the mouse. So I'm doing small kind of circles, ovals, where I want those to be. And then I'm carefully, very, very carefully using a pen and connecting them, trying to get the lines to be as parallel to each other as possible, so you get the same area. I'm holding the card with a little bit of paper because otherwise I would have fingerprints all over my beautiful blended background. And I'm then going in very slowly. This is sped up by 1.5 times, so it is actually much faster, or much slower than this. So I'm going very slow, and then I'm giving it good pressure. I'm using a Martha Stewart craft knife because it feels really good in the hand when you work with it, and also the blades are kind of standard blades. So if you want to have more of those blades, you can get them for just a couple of dollars for a whole bunch of them at the hardware store. After I cut it out, I'm actually keeping the middle part. I don't want to cut into it too much because I'm going to keep it and I'm going to have it as the background to hide that little slider piece. That also means that I don't need to kind of blend a second sheet or anything like that. I'm just taking that little piece and putting it back there, lining up my rectangle, putting that into it, and carefully just removing the background. And there you have the inside of the slider. For the background, then I'm using double-sided foam tape. I'm just folding it over each other, and then I cut it in half. And then I'm putting a little bit of one of those foam tapes on the mouse. It's going to be a little bit smaller than the width of this little area. And then I'm putting a piece of card that overlaps on both sides on the back of the slider. That is actually a piece of the watercolor cardstock, so you can take any kind of card piece to do that, but it needs to overlap both sides so the mouse doesn't fall out. Now you can move it back and forth, and because I have double foam tape, it moves a lot easier, because otherwise it would stick onto the background on the slider. And then I'm going in with my sentiment, which I should have done before I put the whole slider thing together. However, I do have a pretty wide piece of foam tape underneath, so it was pretty easy to do the stamping, but I do recommend do it before you assemble the whole slider part. Then I'm adding my little lighthouse, and the card is done. Now you can fly, and now I'm in focus again. Sorry about that. I forgot to turn off autofocus. But yeah, that is it. And here it is as a little quickie thingy. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please thumbs it up. It means a lot to me. Share it with your friends. If you have any questions, just comment down below. And thank you again so much for watching and for all your comments. They mean the world to me, and they kind of make me make more of these videos. So thank you again. Bye!